Thompson, Georgia sits right on the edge of eastern Georgia. It's a very small town with a population of about 6,700 people, according to the 2010 census. One of those people, one of those citizens, arguably one of the most decorated football players out of high school. His recruitment started as a sophomore. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT for Vernon Speaks Sports, mostly talking about Auburn football and the rest of the SEC. I want to give a shout out to my fearless and true gang, War Eagles. So it turns out that the Auburn Tigers, who won the SEC tournament in basketball, historic stuff for Auburn too, back-to-back years as SEC champions of some sort in basketball, will face the WAC conference champions, New Mexico State. Now, here's the deal. Here's the short skinny on New Mexico State. I might cover them a little bit later on, but here's the short skinny on New Mexico State. They're 30-4, very good basketball team for all intents and purposes. If you really dissect their schedule, they had the opportunity to probably get a higher seed had they beaten Washington, which they lost to by 3, and they lost to Kansas by 3 as well. So, I mean, you're talking about a sneaky good basketball team that could really, really pose some challenges for the Auburn Tigers. Now, going back to my Thompson, Georgia story, Kristen Tutt was one of the most highly recruited, especially guys out of his area, I'm sure, because he had offers from Nebraska, USC, Notre Dame, Auburn. Matter of fact, Auburn, I believe, was the first school to offer Kristen Tutt. Kristen Tutt had been highly recruited ever since he was a sophomore. And for good reason. Kristen Tutt was very good on both sides of the football. He could run the ball. He was very good with doing the zone read, ironically. But if you really look at his recruitment, most of the college recruiters were looking at him for a secondary position on defense. I mean, he plays the ball very well. He's like a ball hawk. He tackles very well in the open field. He's very good in coverages. The only thing that I saw say this past season is that his skill level has to continue to elevate to be very, very competitive on the SEC level. Now, the good news is he has Wesley McGriff as his coach. And I don't know if you all remember Wesley McGriff, former defensive back for coach for Auburn, went over to Ole Miss and was a defensive coordinator over there. It didn't work out, and he came back. One thing you will know about a Wesley McGriff coach secondary personnel is that they're going to tackle very well. They tackle very well in space. And that's something that's going to really benefit Kristen Tutt as he continues to elevate his game to the SEC level. Kristen Tutt was very active last year, had 32 tackles. My most memorable moment about Christian was that interception that he had against Southern Miss. Very impressive vision in how he was able to lock that ball in after it had been tipped. So we look forward to much better secondary play. We also look forward to seeing Kristen Tutt develop to the level in which he was recruited before. Because like I said before, a lot of the Power 5 colleges offered Kristen Tutt. And for Auburn to have been able to snag him in the recruiting process says a lot about Auburn's perception nationwide. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT for Vernon Speaks Sports, mostly talking about Auburn football and the rest of the SEC. Like the channel, comment, and most importantly, subscribe so you don't miss any of the information. War Eagle.